eyes and watch what can happen. You're watching KGW TV Portland, the Northwest news leader, serving the Willamette Valley, Eastern Oregon, and Southwest Washington. This is News 8 at 11.
A high school field trip leads to a legal battle, all sparked by teenage drinking. Good evening. I'm Jim Banneman. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Tracy Berry. It looks like an Independence, Oregon student suing the school district will be allowed to attend graduation ceremonies after all. Timothy Duran was one of a dozen students banned from graduation after being accused of drinking on a senior outing. When the Central High School principal heard about the drinking, he forced a busload of kids to take breathalyzer tests at the local police station. Duran was one of those kids and says his constitutional rights were violated. He's suing.
He is outraged that, again, busloads of students could simply be arrested and taken to the police station.
Outraged, yes, but Duran has decided he will apologize and attend a drug and alcohol abuse class. That means he will get to participate in graduation ceremonies after all. Law enforcement authorities all over the Tri-County area say they will beef up efforts to enforce underage drinking laws.
But tonight we hear from some teenagers and even one parent who have a very different outlook on drinking. Reporter Steve Pickett joining us now with this story, and a lot of folks will say they're just clearly irresponsible about all this.
Yeah, but it's some interesting insight on this. There's no question about that, and you will hear some of that tonight. Of course, Jim, there's education, enforcement, even sober graduation parties, all this effort to send a message to young people that they can enjoy themselves without drinking. Well, the folks we talk with tonight say that may be true, but there's nothing wrong with a little drink.
Criminal, my children, no matter what it is. It's fun to do, you know. It's okay to drink and stuff. It's just a normal part of life.
It should start at home with drinking with your parents so that you can have a good, healthy attitude with it.
Over a game of pool and a guzzle of a 12-ounce can, we talked with 5 Beaverton teenagers and 1 parent about underage drinking. Jennifer Thomas graduates from high school this week.
After graduation, we have an all-night party that's completely sober. The parents put it on. But then Saturday night, we have the Real Fest.
The Real Fest is a party with beer.
Alcohol is a part of high school. It just is.
Carrie Culver is 17. Carrie's mother not only knows she drinks, Mom allows Carrie and brother Billy to do it at home.
I think the kids should have a chance to experience, just like driving, anything else. That's part of growing up and maturity.
Not one voice in this group spoke out against underage drinking. Law enforcement authorities say nonetheless they plan to crack down on teen alcohol use. Those here say it doesn't matter.
I think it's normal. I think it's healthy, you know. Everybody's out. It's a social thing. That's fine. Just as long as everybody's careful, they don't drink and drive.
The kids don't think it's a big issue. I mean, our parents are pretty cool with it. My mom knows that I drink.
I think if you grow up with it and there's occasional drinking, then that's fine. And if it's excessive, then it's wrong.
What we heard tonight was clear. Teenagers and alcohol use, they say it is not the exception, it is the norm. They know it. Their parents know it, according to some of these kids. And in one case, as you saw tonight, one parent clearly supports it. It was, I can't explain to you how surprised I was with the reaction tonight. What we wanted to do is to get feedback from parents and kids about drinking, because we know it's a big time for that with graduations, things of that nature. I would hate to say disturbing, but it really surprised me to hear those accounts today.
But Steve, did they say that a lot of their friends feel that way? Maybe it's more acceptable than we know. It's just not acceptable to talk about it.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, I think most of those folks we talk with today say their focus is to have some sense of responsible drinking in this case, and make sure their parents are aware of it and things of that nature. And they clearly knew people who had been killed in drinking and driving accidents, were concerned about people who drink to binge and get drunk, and they were not a part of that. But we are still talking about 18, 17, 19-year-old kids about some of this.
Some would argue we just witnessed a crime, I guess.
There's no question about that. We talked with Beaverton Police about some of this as well, and they said that is a violation of the law. They are going to go out throughout their city and try to enforce the law.
All right. Thanks, Steve. A powerful earthquake in South America tonight was felt as far north as Canada. Luckily, the quake was centered far below the Earth's surface in Chile and Bolivia. So far, no reports of injuries or damage. Geologists pegged the quake at between a whopping 7.5 and 8.0 on the Richter scale. A woman in Minnesota says she felt it.
Well, I was sitting in my chair watching Unsolved Mysteries, and the chair started to vibrate, and I thought, well, what in the world is going on?
A quake the magnitude of this one can cause tremendous damage, but this one was so deep below the Earth's surface, damage is expected to be minimal.
It was supposed to be a prank, but it turned out to be quite an explosion at a high school in Palo Alto near San Francisco. Police say 65 pounds of an explosive chemical were packed into the bottom of a concrete water fountain at Henry Gunn High School. When it was ignited, it blew out both sides of the concrete fountain. 14 students were injured. 2 had to go to the hospital. The girl's legs were burned, but it was much worse for her friend.
I fell because everyone was running. I fell, and I turned around, and the fire had gone down, and I looked at my whole bag. All my stuff was destroyed. It was burned. My friend was signing my yearbook, and now she's in the hospital. She was burned really badly. Her clothes are on fire, and she went into shock and stuff like that, and they had to be wheeled out.
2 18-year-old students confessed and were arrested. They told police they meant for this to be a prank. Police are looking for one more suspect.
4 people have been arrested in connection with an armed robbery in Vancouver that left a man wounded. It happened last Tuesday at a plaid pantry store. Several bandits robbed the store and shot a bystander. The victim's been released from the hospital. Police have arrested 19, make that 18-year-old Wee Win, and 19-year-old Robert Chavez. Both are charged with attempted murder, robbery, and kidnapping. 2 juveniles have also been arrested. Police say they're still looking for 2 more adult suspects.
Gay and unmarried partners of Portland City employees can now get health benefits. The city of Portland followed Multnomah County's lead in extending benefits to so-called domestic partners. As you might expect, there was plenty of discussion before this passed.
The lobbying efforts to pass these kind of ordinances, it's been exclusively the homosexual movement lobbying for them.
Yeah, I'm a lesbian. I don't have an agenda. I just want to be treated like everybody else. If that's an agenda, that's probably everybody's agenda.
Multnomah County approved similar coverage 2 years ago.
2 men convicted of attacking Nancy Kerrigan are now fighting their own lawyer. Shane Stant and Derek Smith sued their attorney. They claim he owes them the $75,000 the TV show Hard Copy paid for their stories. Well, now attorney Frederick Merrill is suing back. He says Smith and Stant still owe him $26,000.
Health experts have found out why more Americans are getting brittle bones as they get older. They say the current recommended daily allowance for calcium is too low, and the resulting brittle bones is costing the healthcare system $10 billion a year. Dairy products and green leafy vegetables are the best sources of calcium.
For teenagers and young adults, we ask them to continue on milk. Yes, you can have your soda once in a while, but let's get the calcium in milk and yogurt and other sources.
For those who can't get enough calcium in their normal diet, the panel says calcium pills or processed foods enriched with calcium can help. They say this is especially important for older women. Well, coming up, President Clinton wraps up what he calls a profound journey of remembrance.
Also had a Portland Youth Orchestra rehearses for a major foreign tour.
And still ahead, meet the new Bond, James Bond.
This edition of News 8 is closed captioned through a generous grant from Smith's Home Furnishings, because nobody cares like Smith's.
When people think of Big O, they think time. And Big O gives you something extra to make sure your tires will keep rolling on. It's called Extra Care. If you ever have a bump with your suspension, turn to Big O's Extra Care. You'll get Big O's wide selection of top quality shocks and struts and fast installation at a price that's anything but shocking.
A reputation you can ride on Big O tires.
In 30 months with a Honda Del Sol S, you'll only change the oil 4 times. Well, that's great. You'll only tune it up 1 time. Cool. You might wash it 43 1/3 times. Well, maybe less. But the best part is, weather permitting, you can take off the roof 912 times. With Leadership Leasing, a Honda Del Sol S is just $179 a month for just 30 months. Driving a sports car has never been so practical.
Hey, Cookie! Sure hope you're better than our last cook.
At KFC, you can get a delicious chicken fried steak made from 100% beef in crumb breading with cream-style gravy and all the fixings for only $2.99.
What do you think, boss?
Where'd you learn to cook this good?
Oh, it's something I picked up along the trail.
A chicken fried steak meal, only $2.99 and only at KFC.
What's a plantar verruca? It's a wart. And a calcaneal tuberosity? Prominence on the heel bone. How can an additional line from US West help your business? I wouldn't know. You can't be an expert on everything. An additional business line allows you to take more calls or hook up a computer or fax machine. After all, you know feet. There are 26 bones in the human foot. And we know phones. The small business group at US West.
This is News 8.
President and Mrs. Clinton are back home tonight from their historic trip to Europe. By tomorrow morning, however, they may find themselves longing for the quiet beaches of Normandy. The Clintons are returning to the same old problems that were here when they left: health care, whitewater, and possible losses in the upcoming midterm election. All that seemed pretty far away earlier today.
The president ended his D-Day anniversary trip on a nostalgic note in Britain. 25 years ago, 25 years after leaving Oxford, Mr. Clinton returned to accept a special degree reserved for heads of state and royalty. This is where a younger Clinton organized protests against the Vietnam War. Today, he welcomed the protests that coincided with his visit.
Just listen outside here. Everything from disputes over battles to the nature of the Italian government, to the character of the word skinhead, is being debated even as we are here.
Several protesters, in fact, were arrested. The trouble caused the president to cancel plans to walk through Oxford's narrow streets.
Negotiations are apparently not an option on Haiti. U.S. officials now say the administration will not negotiate with Haiti's military rulers, and they are relying on sanctions to force the regime to surrender power. The administration gave coup leaders a chance at a negotiated settlement last year, but say they backed out of a promise to allow the return of deposed President Jean-Bertrand Aristide.
Hopes for a quick end to the dispute involving North Korea have been dashed. Hopes were raised when the North's foreign minister suggested his country might agree to full inspections of its nuclear program if the U.S. would renew talks with that communist government. But the U.S. State Department says Korea's proposal falls far short of the dialogue necessary to resolve that nuclear dispute.
The Portland Youth Philharmonic is getting ready to head overseas. America's oldest youth orchestra will be celebrating its 70th anniversary in Germany. The talented group leaves tomorrow. First stop is Frankfurt. The students will spend much of the time in German homes and performing in concert halls known for their beauty and historic value. They'll be traveling through the country by bus, ending up in Berlin. Well, coming up next, Portland's kids take to the streets with their own Rose Festival parade.
Also still ahead, a Portland woman celebrates an extraordinary birthday.
I'm Joe Sutilli. The forecast stays on the mild side. I'll have it next.
And I'm Joe Becker. Olympic champion Tommy Moe was skiing on Mount Hood today. We've got that. Plus, Game 1 of the NBA Finals was not a classic. The Rockets are still smiling. That's all coming up later in sports.
News 8 has more news coverage than any other local station, but that's not enough. Introducing News 8 Sundays, 2 hours from 8 till 10 a.m. With more live reports, weather forecasts, and breaking stories, you'll know what's going on before you even sit down for lunch. Sunday mornings from 8 till 10 with coverage you can count on. News 8.
My name is Mary, and I'm a sales associate at Smith's Home Furnishings. I've been selling furniture for many years now, and I really love what I do. My experience allows me to help people find just what they want. And when a customer comes back and asks for me, I know I'm doing it right.
Caring professionals like Mary are what makes Smith's the Northwest's favorite place to buy furniture. Smith's Home Furnishings, the low price, and so much more.
2 years ago, Portland area voters asked Metro to figure out what this area should look like in the next 50 years. Since then, we've been asking and analyzing, listening and learning, researching and reviewing, testing, talking, and thinking. It's your turn. In the next few days, you'll receive this in the mail. Please read it and fill out the reply card to let us know what you think. Your opinion is important to us.
What can I do for you? So that's your hot new Grand Am V6 down there. Looks fun, Mark.
Pontiac's a blast to drive all right, but it also makes a lot of sense.
Really?
Prices on imports like a Corton Camry are way out.
And Pontiac Grand Am's holding the line?
Thousands less, with airbag and ABS standard.
Well, shoot.
Don't mind if I do.
Nice talking to you, man. Whoa!
See Jim Weston, Willamette, John Lake, Royal Moore, Breslin, Braley and Graham, or Bill.
This is News 8.
Come one, come all. That was the idea behind today's Junior Rose Festival Parade. A lot of children signed up in advance to participate, but every child who showed up had the chance to join the fun. An estimated 10,000 kids made the annual event a rousing success again. Smokey the Bear was the Grand Marshal, and great weather was a welcome guest. It was nice out there.
Bunches and bunches of cute kids out having a good time.
Yeah, and again, not like last year where it rained like the dickens out there, but a pretty nice day, and we've got some pretty nice weather on the way for the next few days. It's going to stay on the mild side, and the only rub is towards the middle of the weekend. We'll show you that. Here's a look at the current readings. Partly cloudy out there right now, 63 degrees, 62% is the humidity. The wind northwest at 6, and the barometric pressure 30.23 inches of mercury, and it's rising. High today, a pleasant 73, the overnight low 46. And on such a nice day, nothing in the rain bucket, and the totals there remain the same as you can see. The freezing level at 9,400 feet. Here's the satellite loop. See this batch of clouds push on in as the day progressed, pushed right across the state. Really didn't bring anything in the way of precipitation. We've cleared off quite nicely. Another disturbance out in the Pacific Ocean should spread some high clouds our way tomorrow. But other than that, we're looking at a mostly sunny day with mild readings. It's going to be a pretty nice day. Upper air pattern shows that the cool air in that trough that brought us those showers over the past couple of days now well to the northeast of us, heading into western Canada. Still have a westerly jet, so that's going to bring some clouds in every once in a while, but a ridge starting to build, and it's not going to build very high or to the north. It's going to be a flat ridge and allowing disturbances to push on in every once in a while, and that means we may see more powerful disturbances heading in towards the weekend and may bring us some rain. 69 degrees, the high in Redmond today, 68 in Burns, 76 in Eugene, 83 the high down in Medford today, 75 in the state capital of Salem. Newport 65, Astoria had 65, and Brookings topped it out at 66 degrees. Around the nation tonight, only one trouble spot in western Kansas and parts of eastern Colorado. There is a severe thunderstorm watch up there. Some very big storms throughout that section of the country and up through Nebraska. A few big storms now down in Texas and some late evening stuff in southeastern Georgia and South Carolina. You can see that on the radar right now. There are the big storms in western Kansas and eastern Colorado, thus that watch. And then, again, the rest of the stuff that's going on right now is not terribly powerful. High temperature readings around the country today, 63 in Chicago, 71 for Portland, Maine. Great Falls, Montana had 64. Meanwhile, Phoenix topped it out at 102 degrees. Here's a look at the forecast now, statewide. Coast first. Partly cloudy tonight, becoming mostly sunny tomorrow after some morning clouds. High 64 to 69 degrees. There's a small craft advisory up south of Newport. Look for winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20 knots. Eastern part of the state, high clouds at times tomorrow, otherwise a nice day, sunny. Highs in the 70s. Cascades, about the same story. High clouds at times, otherwise sunny. The freezing level at 11,000 feet. In the Gorge, partly cloudy with mostly sunny skies on the way. Partly cloudy tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow. High 75 to 83. In the Valley, partly cloudy tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow. High 76 to 79 degrees. And here in the Portland, Vancouver metropolitan area, partly cloudy tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow. Low 50. High tomorrow 77. 5-day outlook not bad. In the 70s right on through the middle of the weekend. And just a chance of showers on Sunday and Monday. Temperatures cooling into the 60s. And I emphasize just a chance.
We'll get through the parade. That'll make a lot of people happy.
Yeah, I think it should be all right.
Good. Thanks, Joe.
You bet.
Just ahead, America's favorite purple dinosaur can once again sing his favorite song.
And game show host Bob Barker responds to charges against him.
Tomorrow at 6:30 on Good Evening, meet the Morning Star Soldiers, a group of Northeast Portland kids who are stomping to the beat of hope. Does this military-style training keep them off the streets? Watch as they prepare for a national competition. Tomorrow at 6:30 on Channel 8's Good Evening.
I bought these Reeboks at Smart Mart.
I got bonus bucks, too.
This week only, get $5, $10, or $25 in July bonus bucks.
Use them like cash on July purchases. Get bonus bucks.
And the low Sport Mart price on a huge selection of Reebok shoes. For running, tennis, basketball, Reebok cross trainers, Reebok casuals, whatever your sport, we've got your Reebok.
Find a lower price somewhere else, get double the difference back. And don't miss July bonus bucks only at Sport Mart.
You'll find what you're looking for at Sport Mart.
This week only at the Silo Great Giveaway. Buy any 27-inch or larger TV, get an AC/DC TV free. Buy any camcorder, get an accessory package free. Buy select projection TVs, get a VCR free. Buy select refrigerators, get a microwave free. Get more great giveaways on top name brands throughout the entire store. Plus, get instant in-store discounts of $10 to $200 and unbeatable low prices guaranteed. Hurry in today. The new Silo Great Giveaway ends Saturday.
What do you do when Four Wheeler Magazine crowns you Pickup Truck of the Year? You leap up in the air. You take a bow. And you give the runners-up a big wet one on the cheek. Chevy S-Series, Four-Wheeler Pickup Truck of the Year. Further proof that everything else is history.
This News 8 segment is brought to you by GTE. With GTE, it's amazing what we can do together.
We all have different ways of communicating our friendship. And when we can't do it in person, we usually do it over the phone. GTE created Between Friends, a calling plan that offers you 60 minutes of GTE long distance for only $8 a month. It's not just a plan tailored around your needs. It's tailored around your friends' needs as well. To find out more, just give us a call.
This is News 8.
A new 007 will soon be taking on top-secret cases for Britain again.
Today, the producers of the highly successful James Bond movies named Pierce Brosnan as their new man. Brosnan is best known for his role on the TV show Remington Steele. He is the 5th actor to play the sexy secret agent. Brosnan says he plans to play Bond with a hard edge.
What makes the man tick? What are the demons that are behind him? And yet still keep within the parameters of what Ian Fleming wrote and what the audience expects.
The 41-year-old native Irishman was offered the part of 007 8 years ago, but Brosnan had to turn it down then because he couldn't get out of his contract on Remington Steele.
Game show host Bob Barker says he'll file a countersuit against a former Price is Right model. Diane Parkinson has filed a sexual harassment suit against Barker, claiming he forced her to have sex. Barker admits the two had an affair, but says everything was consensual. In fact, he says Parkinson initiated the relationship.
I never exchanged an unpleasant word with Diane Parkinson until after this so-called fling was over. I had been friendly with her over a period of years. We had our thing. I felt that it should be terminated, and I told her so.
Barker says he'll sue Parkinson for a malicious prosecution. Another model on the show, Janice Pennington, says she'll testify for Barker.
Barney is off the hook. The big purple dinosaur can sing his trademark I Love You again without concern for legal consequences. Barney's signature song had been at the center of a lawsuit filed by Jean Warren of Everett, Washington. Warren, who claimed she had the rights to the song, was suing the owners of the big dinosaur. That dispute has now been settled.
Thank heavens.
Well, I tell you what, that's a load off my mind.
And the kids.
The world hung in the balance.
My kids love Barney.
Of course they do.
I like him too.
Everybody loves Barney.
He's a fun-loving guy. The Rockets and Knicks both struggled, but the home fans are smiling after Game 1 of the NBA Finals. A pair of golf's biggest names are in town for a golf outing at Pumpkin Ridge. Sports coming up next.
They courted by computer until their romance hit a dead end. Then she complained to cops his fingers were doing the stalking. The laptop Losario on the next to Current Affair.
Thursday night at 7.
This guy tried to sell a sex tour in paradise to Inside Edition.
Are you running a sex tour? No, I'm not.
Americans flying overseas to have sex with teenage girls. Watch Inside Edition.
Thursday night at 7:30.
Help support Oregon Junior Golf. Attend the 94 Portland City Women's Golf Championship June 10th through the 12th at Heron Lakes. All proceeds benefit the LPGA Intercity Golf Program.
This More You Know message sponsored by Payless and KGW TV.
Each night, many of you join me in reading or watching about one senseless crime after another. I know you wonder what is happening with the world these days. Now is a better time than any to contribute to our community and work together to help our neighbors improve their lives. Let's start by calling the Volunteer Center at 222-1355 to learn more about hundreds of volunteer opportunities.
Every year since 1989, Alaska Airlines has been voted Best U.S. Airline by the readers of Condé Nast Traveler. In fact, there's not much we haven't won.
If you have problems falling asleep, here's a free offer to try. New Unisom Sleep Gels with a special liquid center. They're maximum strength, so they're as effective as anything you can buy. They'll help you fall asleep fast and wake up refreshed. For your free sample of Unisom Sleep Gels, call 1-800-REST-NOW. Maximum strength Unisom Sleep Gels. A remarkable new idea from Unisom.
This is News 8.
Welcome back. It wasn't pretty, but the Houston Rockets will take it. After a week off, the Rockets played well enough to hold off the Knicks 85-78 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And the Summit rocking. They're pumped for a title run. Knicks, though, with good defense in the first quarter. Greg Anthony with a great pass to Charles Smith. He dunks at home. New York had the early lead. But then Hakeem Dream got hot. Look at this. He hits the jumper, and then he comes up with a nice fadeaway. He had 28 points and 10 rebounds. Houston led by 8 at halftime, 54-46. Third quarter, we'll check out John Starks, who hits for 3. Both teams were 4 of 16 from the three-point stripe. Otis Thorpe, big game, 14 points and 16 boards. This dunk put him up by 6 with a minute to go, and they were pumped. Patrick Ewing had 26, but get this, New York missed 60 shots in the game. The Rockets hold on to win it by 7, 85-78, Game 2, Friday in Houston. Now, you may have noticed that NBC is now providing audio in both English and Spanish, starting with tonight's finals. If you want Spanish for future games, check your TV owner's manual on how to adjust your SAP or Audio B button to make your selection. When SAP is off, you'll receive normal English broadcasts. When SAP is on, you'll get Spanish. For an example of how Spanish sounds, here's some action.
Pase para Mason, Mason frente a la canasta, gancho de derecha, se la tapa, Hakeem. Aquí vienen los Rockets al otro lado, Cassell, el novato, entrega atrás. Maxwell penetra, suelta, se queda corto. Oristurp remota canasta.
Yes, sir, remota canasta. In the big leagues, the Cardinals took the Reds. New York fell to Colorado. Terry Pendleton had 3 hits to top the 1,500 mark for his career. Braves win. Houston ripped Montreal. The Cubs have lost 9 straight. The Pirates over the Giants. And the Marlins rally with 3 in the 9th to beat the Dodgers. The American League, Ken Griffey Jr. looking to homer in his 3rd straight game. And look at this one. Cranks it deep to right. His baby is long gone, but foul by just a few feet into the upper deck. Griffey didn't homer in the game, and the Mariners didn't win, losing to Cleveland 5-3. Elsewhere in the American League, Detroit scored 10 in the 5th to beat the Red Sox 14-5. Chicago rallied to beat Toronto. Bo Jackson homered. The Angels win. Texas over New York by a run. Baltimore beat KC, and Milwaukee over Oakland 6-1. Well, there's a lot of excitement on Mount Hood this week. The U.S. men's downhill A team's working out, and the team's led by Olympic downhill champ Tommy Moe. Moe earned the gold medal in the downhill during the Winter Games in Lillehammer, Norway. Moe and his teammates have been training on Palmer Snowfield in the mountain. Channel 8's Good Evening was with Moe on the mountain this afternoon. They're going to run a story on him later this week. Golfer Jeff Fote of West Lynn won the Oregon PGA Championship in Gresham today. And 2 of the biggest names in golf were in town for a corporate golf outing at Pumpkin Ridge Golf Course in Cornelius. Former U.S. Open champions Fuzzy Zeller and Hubert Green do work with Olson Fennel Seeds, a turf grass company out of Salem. They had a big outing today, and Zeller and Green were along to rub elbows and hit some good shots and have fun.
I mean, these are not his balls he's hitting. These are my balls. More, please.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at this weather. I mean, how can you ask for anything more? Got a beautiful day for a golf outing, and we're doing it.
What kind of tips are you giving your partners here?
I don't think you call them tips. Needles. Needles. My day is to make sure I needle the guys, not to tip them. Perfect. See, I'm the straight man of the bunch is what it is. He's the wild and crazy young guy, and I'm the straight man.
Well, it's interesting. You know, these folks are business people. They work for a living. I play golf for a living, so they've got a job and I don't. I like things just like they are. It's just the greatest thing in the world. I'm 47 years of age, never had a job in my life, never worked a day in my life, just play a little golf. I can't retire because all I do right now is fish and play golf.
Not a bad life, I would say.
Good work if you can get it, Joe.
That's right. I wish I could.
Thanks.
Well, Joe Satilli will be back in just a second to check that 5-day forecast.
Yeah, he doesn't play golf well enough either. And we'll go to a birthday party for a Portland woman who's learned the secret of staying young.
Thursday on Live, the newest City Slicker John Lovitz, plus pop sensation Rochelle Burrell sings on the next Live. Tomorrow at 9.
Coverage you can count on. News 8. It's not the instrument. It's who's playing it. It's not the club. It's who swings it. It's not just the phone. It's the people who make it ring. It's the people who are always there for you. It's the people at GTE MobileNet. More than cellular phones, cellular service. Please let us know how we can serve you.
So you settled for an ordinary cream cheese when you could have had Philly. Unlike other brands, Philly cream cheese is slow blended, then quick chilled at its most luscious moment for that cool, creamy, one-of-a-kind Philly taste. Isn't it silly not to choose Philly?
It's the PCPA Broadway Series, the inaugural season of blockbuster hits at Portland Civic Auditorium, beginning October 18th with Crazy for You. The Will Rogers Follies opening November 15th. Marie Osmond starring in The Sound of Music in January of '95. In April, Fiddler on the Roof with Theodore Bikel. Then Carol Channing stars in Hello, Dolly.
And that's where I belong.
Tickets available by calling G.I. Joe's Ticketmaster charge by phone at 224-4400. It's the PCPA Broadway Series, presented by Dan Bean Presents.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer for The Money Store. Even if your credit is less than perfect, you can still refinance your first mortgage at today's low fixed rates. That's because The Money Store looks at your total credit picture and won't automatically disqualify you for late payments. At The Money Store, you can apply by phone and there's no application fee. So if you want to refinance at today's low rates, even if your credit isn't perfect, call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
This is News 8.
You're back on.
Here's the 5-day outlook. Since we're on, we might as well show it to you. No, I won't. It'll be nice right on through Saturday. As you can see, temperatures in the 70s. A chance of some shower activity on Sunday and Monday with temperatures cooling into the 60s.
Thought I should tell you, you're always goofing around right before we come out.
I know. I gotta
get caught.
Get serious here.
Thanks, Joe.
You needn't be a teenager to be a Rose princess. Just ask Helen Todd. They threw a big party today for Helen's 109th birthday. She was senior Rose Festival princess back in '89 and '90. That is 1989 or 90. Helen says a lot of things have led to her longevity, including an optimistic outlook and a little luck.
We were going over on the Titanic, but at the last minute we couldn't afford the price.
Timing is everything. Helen may be 109, but she can steal a finger full of frosting as fast as any birthday girl.
Isn't she lovely?
She is wonderful. We hope you stay tuned to Channel 8 tomorrow morning for News 8 at sunrise, coming your way at 6.
And here's a little more of the Junior Parade as we say goodnight.
the NBC studios in Burbank, the